spend money, time, everything. But I have a definite view that the paper goes into the dustbin.
Then we have to literally say, please wait. And they think all Indians are like that.
If I look at forming a company in London, it takes 4 hours. If I do the same thing in India, it takes 15 days to 25 to 30 days.
The way the government is making it difficult for the small time enterprises for filing so many returns, where they can't afford a good consultant or a good lawyer to fight their cases, they have to shut the shop. There is no choice.
Basically make it simple for everyone, then everyone will happily pay the taxes what is required. If we are charging GST to the end client, the money is never ours.
Namaste viewers and welcome to Reemarkabl. We are here to discuss on something that's poignant, that's something that's profound. It's the Union Budget 2025. It's about the hope and aspirations of an industry that has always been neglected. We're talking about the tourism and the hospitality and the aviation industry. For years, this industry is asking for industry status. They're asking for certain benefits, some kind of hand-holding, but every time it's probably fallen on deaf ears. We have an expert panel of industry professionals, thought leaders, three wonderful entrepreneurs here. It's Deepak Jagtiani, who's the Director of Corporate Events India Private Limited, Mr. Madhav Oza, who is the Director of Blue Star Services. They are highly into tourism, aviation, and more so even holiday packages. And Mr. Nishant Mehta, who is the founder and director of Toogle Travels. He's a chartered accountant by profession also, and also a lawyer. A panel of such stalwarts also calls for some kind of serious brainstorming. The government is saying its bit. It's talking about taxation. It's talking about all kinds of things for different industries. But what about tourism? From Incredible India, they're saying it's inevitable India, but the budgets for promotions have been slashed by 97%, if I'm not wrong. I start with you, Madhavji. You've seen a generation, like 3 decades in this industry, almost 40 years. There have been milestones with different governments. Every time, sir, you've been with the TAFE as an organization. You all have gone to the government many times. What is it that you still feel? Why are we not respected as an industry?
Frankly, Rima, I would say I have done several presentations also to the government.
Yes.
And made presentations, spend money, time, everything. But I have a definite view that the paper goes into the dustbin. Our industry has been treated as an orphan child. Whenever it comes to politicians or the bureaucrats, they talk big about it as a big employment generator, blah, 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 everything, revenue generator. It can differentiate with the trade balance. But when it comes to executing things, it is absolutely, we are treated as an orphan child. We have been crying and appealing to the various governments, let it be current government or the different other governments, to adopt us, accept us as an industry, but never ever it happened.
Yeah.
So this is the real fact. The crux is the fact is that the government is not looking at it at all as a positive point. Only when it is talks they are doing it. Otherwise, it's not. In spite of being such a big potential the country has, you count alone Maharashtra, it has got 5 UNESCO heritage sites. What is the government doing about it? It can be a revenue generator. It can churn a lot of revenue, but they don't want to.
Correct. I'm going to come back to you, sir, on the temple tourism story.
Yeah, sure.
But I want to shift this conversation to you, Deepakji. Deepak.
Sure.
You said you want to be candid. You're upset because the way you're dealing with your corporate business, it's hard to even transfer money abroad.
Yes, that's true. I mean, the reason I said this is when you make, if you're doing a trip, a foreign trip, let's say, and you have a group where you're making hotel bookings directly or you're using a destination management company, then it's a little easier to transfer. But we as event managers, if we are booking stage, sound, lights, etc., or artists, and there are multiple artists, it becomes very difficult for us to transfer funds. So we have to load it up on travel cards, try and find some place to swipe it. If we want to make payments, say, for equipment guys, it's impossible because they don't accept cards in the first place. And then we have to fill in so many forms and meet with CAs like him, get certification, bank signatures, and so on and so forth, which takes too much of time. If it takes a few days, they can't wait. The end suppliers, they cannot wait. So it becomes very, very difficult for people like us.
So what's that one expectation? I mean, we are talking about the digital India, but what is it? Why see the gap?
I mean, we recently did one again in Singapore, and we just could not make payments to anybody. We did something in Almaty. I had to literally have people use their passports and exchange money using their passports, which they were anyway travelers, so that was okay. But that can't be done all the time. Like, example, if we have just 4 team members, I can't take $50,000 with me.
Yes.
So that becomes a problem for us. And if people don't receive payments on time there, they just simply say, sorry, we cannot wait, because Europeans, this is the time limit, and stop there. And after that, what? Then we have to literally say, please wait. And they think all Indians are like that. So it becomes very painful for us.
So you want to tell the government something on this?
Make it easier for us to remit. I mean, we have so many airlines flying out of the country. We have so many events happening outside the country. The industry as such. They should make payment gateways easier.
Absolutely.
Last time during the India-Pakistan match in England, I had to make some payments to someone. We used PayPal. I had to pay £580 for one transaction. And for maybe £2,000, 500 and something was the charge. So that's like 58,000 rupees to pay for 2 lakh rupees. So it just didn't augur well.
Yeah,
and this is
the math
personal
doesn't
experience.
work, yeah.
This is personal experience. So I wish they would do something about it for sure.
Nishant, he's your industry colleague. You all are together on platforms. Look at the pain there. It's an absolute mismatch. And what Madhav sir is saying, like where on panels after panels, associations have gone. As a chartered accountant, more than as a tourism expert, where do you think they can bridge the gap for our industry, especially problems like this here?
I always believe in an ease of operation. So if I look at forming a company in London, it takes 4 hours. If I do the same thing in India, it takes 15 days to 25 to 30 days. And
Absolutely.
That's the problem there. We always talk about ease of operation in all the budget and everything, but when we actually practically do it, it doesn't work. Like you look at TCS, a small player cannot compete with an international payment who is not liable for a TCS. You go to booking.com, you will have no TCS.
Yeah.
But if I'm competing, I'm charging 5% to 20% extra.
Correct.
And that bridges the gap and you're not able to compete with the international. So my suggestion is reduce the TCS rates. I understand that is something you to curb and take an advanced taxation payment. Make it to 5%. And if you are charging a TCS mandatory for the small player in India, why not charge the same to the international? Bridge the gap.
That's
If you bridge the gap, automatically we can compete.
Exactly,
And that will
yeah.
increase the revenue model for Indians.
Yeah.
Indirectly, if you're not doing that, you lead to black money.
Mm.
And that's the problem.
Yes.
So we are again in the vicious cycle.
Correct. In spite of the demonetization, whatever you
Correct.
talk about,
Correct.
you end of the day, because of the TCS, people do a hawala transaction or a anti-money laundering, and that goes into problematic. So you need to do something. We believe in paying TCS. We believe in paying GST and everything. Why don't you do at par with the international? Reduce the rate of TCS and make a ease of operation where your TCS and GST on one single platform is easy for them.
Exactly.
If I look at it, for me, it's business. But if I look for the pain of the traders,
Yeah.
it's a problematic.
Mm.
I always say reduce TCS a lot. You need to
Why?
compete with the international government. You need to make sure that the international come on the platform. Like if you look at a recent thing, Amazon has been brought in the same at par with Snapdeal or any other Indian company. They need to get all the database here. If they can do on the online shopping, why not in the travel industry?
Correct.
This is something I actually want them to do that.
Okay, so you're saying retail is looked after through this whole thing. Why not the travel industry? But Madhav sir,
In
you
fact,
said,
I would like to
yeah,
compliment
please.
to add something to his statement.
Yes, please.
Multiple taxation should be reduced in the budget. In fact, today, if you see a e-commerce platform of a travel agent, he has got an 194O, he has got an under section 52, there is a taxation. Then there is a multiple state-wise returns under 194O one has to do. Every state he has to file a return. Under GST there is TCS. Under income tax there is TCS. This may be the general travel agent doesn't know there are two TCS. One under GST, one under income tax also. There are multiple. Why not simplify it? In fact, I will tell you, our teams are busy doing taxation work only. And then there are notices or notices. No resolution at all. And today, GST alone, there will be a notice from the center, from the state. Both want to audit the books. I'm pretty surprised.
And to add on to it, if you have a multiple office in different location in India also, internal transaction between one company to other company again lead to a double taxation of the GST also.
That is.
Oh, that is true. Like example, we do an event in Delhi. I need to have a separate GST so that to avail of the benefit.
Yeah.
If I do in Bombay, means I have to do again here. And if I do something down in the east,
Yeah.
oh, I need another company formation. Otherwise, I don't get the
This-
input tax credit.
This state concept worldwide is not there. It should be single GST.
Yes, exactly.
Central GST, that's sufficient.
But
Na?
the concept of a good and service tax is a single tax,
Yeah.
single rate. But this is not something in India. I have offices in 13 countries, and every other country have a single rate of
Yeah.
taxation. You don't have multiple taxation at all. If
So-
it is a GST, it's a single rate. Here we have a multiple rate in GST.
He has nailed it.
Yeah.
Multiple taxation, multiple returns.
Multiple.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
For me, it's money, but if I look at the pain of my clients, it's a problematic. Even we get tiring filing 3 returns for one single thing, whether transaction is a similar thing.
It's a lot of work for your own team members also,
Exactly,
na?
yeah.
Accounting team. I mean, ek karo, khatam karo, finish. That's it. And then why do multiple for something the same?
You file a separate rate for TCS, you file a separate rate for GST, you file a separate rate for income tax, and then you claim TCS. Getting a refund back again is a painful. If your refund is used, it will take 6 months to a year to get your refund of your own money.
Yeah.
If you look at the bigger players in the tourism industry, they might be just waiting for the refund to come of the TCS amount.
Hmm.
Or a frequent traveler, the major money is stuck up in the TCS.
No, because that's what they're saying today. As so, Madhav said, what do you think the travel industry today, especially SMEs, the medium small enterprises, they are looking at the government saying, as he's saying, orphan, as an orphan child. But do you see these kind of businesses even standing the test of time with
No.
this kind of a?
The way the government is making it difficult for the small time enterprises
Yeah.
for filing so many returns,
Yeah.
where they can't afford a good consultant or a good lawyer to fight their cases, they have to shut the shop. There is no choice because there are so many multiple returns. Just imagine today a small time e-commerce player starts, he has to deduct TCS of an airline.
Crazy.
The concept of TCS came in picture in 1970s or 80s was for the reason that there is a forest business, there is a animal husbandry. They were not taxable, so there was TCS introduced. Yet today, a e-commerce player has to deduct TDS of an airline, TCS of an airline,
Yeah.
and then file those returns. And that airline is going to claim it's, frankly speaking, it's a zero revenue for the exchequer because the airline is claiming the ITC back. So what are we all doing? I am working, I am collecting, I am paying, airline is again deducting and taking it as a zero. So nothing, the exchequer is getting nothing. Only all are busy filing returns, that's all.
Deepak, you're smiling. I mean, like every time you're resonating with very passionately. I can see the pain. What
Yeah.
have you gone through that is saying that thank you government but no thanks?
Now, for example, we recently did an event in Delhi. Now, our understanding of deduction of tax, TDS, is something, and the person, the entity paying us that, their thought process is different. Now, when we made payments to certain artists or certain suppliers, we deducted 2%. When I got the money, it was with 10% deduction. So I ended up losing 8% overall.
Correct.
So I ended up making no money. But just work hard and keep working hard. And even though we tell them something, send them whatever clause is, they counter it with saying something else. So basically, two cities, two different rules. We had no idea what it was.
What Deepak means to say is advance ruling he is asking for.
Yeah, one.
The advance ruling is available, but again it is debatable in the court of law.
Yeah, and to add to it, even if you apply for an advance ruling, it is only for a year.
Yeah.
So if
Again,
I'm
you'll
in
have to do
Jan
it
right
again.
now,
See.
from anything applying in Jan is applicable till March only. So again for the next year, again you need to reapply in April. And it's like applying for a lower TDS. Now the concept is again a TCS and a TDS is a criminal liability. So it is a problem. So all the traders, the small thing are very, very reluctant. If I delay any return, if I don't file or if I take the money and don't pay, it's actually a criminal liability and many of the top guys have been penalized for that. Then you go for a bail and all that. So indirectly for doing a ease of operation, I'm not able to do ease of operation at all.
Correct.
So that creates a
Basically, make it simple for everyone. Then everyone will happily pay the taxes what is required. If we are charging GST to the end client, the money is never ours.
Yeah.
We are bound to pay it. For the honest businessman, he is bound to pay it.
Absolutely.
If you're charging someone which is for the government, it was never yours.
Yeah.
So clear it off. End of the story. Instead of going round and round. And this is not only about this. I mean, there's so many other, and each segment has a different deduction, which again becomes difficult. For an artist is something else. For if you're purchasing something else is something else. And then if you're renting certain type is different. I mean, we are not accountants. Or we want to just do good work.
when the rate keeps changing, so you need to be sharp enough, your consultant should be clear enough what day, what rate goes. Everywhere there's a lot of taxation involved, which is not making a life simple for anyone.
That's the only thing about art, because there are so many other issues with other industries, but for us as tourism, it's about
To sum it up, I will suggest that government should have a Q&A for each section of taxation they have.
Correct.
And that Q&A is not followed, fine, we can accept. But they don't have a Q&A.
So please,
Guidance should be
government,
there.
Yeah, so the tourism industry just asking for one simple thing: just make it easy for us to survive.
Exactly, yeah.
Make it easy for us to do some ease of business. As Deepak was saying, it's crazy that you're going in the same little vicious circle. And
Yeah, for example, if there's a ticketed event, no matter how big or small, I mean, there should be one single window.
yeah,
I can't go to the police department separate, to the fire department separate, to some other department separate, and there are like maybe 10, 20 licenses to get.
yeah,
You need a separate team just going around for licenses.
yeah, yeah.
Go to one place.
Yeah.
This is what it is. This is the data that we are giving you. Tell us the charges. Take it.
Absolutely.
And if you've taken extra or whatever as per entertainment tax, etc., give it back also on time.
Yeah.
That's it. If you can demand money on time before you start, you can also return the money immediately after it's finished.
Because to add to him, the cash flows of the players, of the businessmen is stuck up.
Yes.
Of course,
So we have
that's
10% is a huge money. We don't have margin in meaning at this time. We don't have a margin so much. So your money is stuck up. You wait for the refund to come the entire
Exactly.
year, and that too comes after you file your return. So you're talking about around 10 to 15 months to get the return back.
Yeah, yeah. My point is, we were having a gentleman from hospitality couldn't join us. This hospitality industry, the hotel industry, again 1,000 licenses. I don't know. I mean, I'm just putting a number, but they have stuff as industry professionals. Tourism, hospitality, aviation is all a part of the same, the
Correct.
same cycle. Is there something you all want to speak for them, saying that together as an industry, where can we lift up the spirit somewhere? Because we're talking about not they are fighting for industry status, not getting it. Tourism is not on any list, not on the state list, not on the central list. They're requesting it to be on the concurrent list, but it's not happening. So, what's the way forward?
For aviation industry, if you consider what the way forward is, as of now, which I can see, the taxation is killing them too.
Killing them
Yeah, the fuel
Fuel, yeah.
Yeah,
prices,
fuel price.
yeah, that is killing them too. So I believe government should have some policy where they can subsidize them at least.
Okay.
Whenever there is a fuel rise to the extent of due to some other war or some other reason, if
Otherwise,
that can be done. Otherwise, I have seen in last 40 years so many airlines coming and going, succumbing
That's
to the pressures of the
correct.
yeah. And today, not only government is losing revenue, millions of passengers are losing money because airlines are succumbing. Today, if a Go First or a Jet Airways is shutting down, on an average, around 2 million people lose money.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a
And
big
at the end
thing.
of the day, as you rightly said, if the costs are so high, nobody's going to take the cost on themselves. They're going to pass it down to the end user, which is us. So at the end of the day, it's the people who's paying for it all. So that becomes a very expensive proposition too.
If I look at the entire amount of taxation return and GST return and many income tax return and everything, combining everything, the amount a small payer might be earning, he will be spending more in paying to the consultant than they are actually earning for it. And that's lead to shutdown of businesses. Again, leading to unemployment and other multiple factors. It creates a problem.
Yeah, that's true. The chartered accountants and all their charges are like very nice.
We'll come back to that.
I mean, whether the market goes down or not, theirs is like up. So that's why it's smiling a lot.
But that's the problem because you need to file multiple returns. There's a lot of hard work involved.
Yeah, lot of hard work.
Yeah, of course,
lot of
of course.
paperwork.
That one message you want to give out, you know, first of Feb, she's going to obviously speak her heart out to Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. Anything because, you know, they are here for the next 5 years.
Sure. Just make it easy for us to operate. I mean, we'd be more than happy to cooperate in every possible way. Just make life easier. I know our industry is rather fragmented. It's not like, everyone is like 1,000 crore company. There's so many mushrooming up. It'll be difficult, but the rules are there for everyone. And as the motto was, the ease of doing business.
Yeah.
If the ease happens, we are all okay.
The main concept of ease of listening to all three of you, I'm feeling like pained.
Yes.
Pained to a next level because you're talking about the basics of survival. And
Yeah. It's not. Sorry, carry on.
No, the way you were saying for an X amount you have to pay in pounds.
Yes, that is one transfer.
Imagine that one transfer. And Madhav sir, you've been 40 years, the journey of 40 years, you've gone through economies of change literally from demonetization to liberalization in 91 to global economies. What did you see this whole journey go through and what do you want to tell the government like bas kuch to de do yaar.
De do se zyada I would like to explain them that see this is a very huge potential of employment. So if they are really serious about it, they should explore that. Today they are targeting by 2030 as per the Commerce Ministry report a $2 trillion export. And travel is a major export earner. It can earn massive money, inbound tourism. At the same time, if the general industry is growing at 7-8%, this industry grows at 15 to 20%. And employment wise, today, if you count India alone, travel sector is employing close to 50 million people. And this can grow till 150 million if we take it seriously. And if you want to take it 2 trillion export earnings, then you have to take seriously this sector. And if you're not taking it, it's dangerous. And you see, are they really taking it seriously or not? I will say certain level yes and certain level no. Like airports, they are building in a big way. So I compliment them. Railway network, they are doing a lot. Road network, hats off to them, they are doing a lot. But if you look at last mile connect, still missing. If you look at the waterway transport, it's still missing. Number of aircrafts we are getting is good thanks to the private sector, but still we are running at 25% of what China is. Today China has 5,000 aircraft, so we are still at 1,000 only. Yeah, so we are lower than that. So what government needs to do is that they should push this industry. So today, like you take just simple example of Kumbh Mela. Today, I'm telling you, Yogi is doing a good job. Almost he is expecting 400 million people there.
Correct.
And he has put up 1,70,000 tents over there. So that's a big job. It's a, you can say it's a cultural or religious Disneyland.
Correct. Correct.
But this Kumbh Mela happens in Maharashtra also. It happens in Madhya Pradesh also. It happens in Uttarakhand also. I never heard these three states doing anything much. Nasik does. Nasik may have hardly 2,000 tents.
Yeah.
So these are big opportunities. If 400 million people can come to a Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj, why can't a Nasik come have the same traffic? It can be a massive channel.
Revenue
No?
channel, yeah.
So the government has to pay attention on it. And if, as you mentioned, 97% slash of budget,
Yeah.
then how would you market this Kumbh Mela or any event in India? There are so many events happening. Deepak will endorse it. India is massive event
many.
area. But today we are ignoring Maharashtra government. If you are looking at it, they are even ignoring Shivneri Port. Then there is no way to reach Shivneri Port also. So forget, there are 350 forts in this state alone. 5 heritage sites, UNESCO heritage sites. And if you look, we have a 740-kilometer long coastline in Maharashtra alone. But have you heard of any coastal tourism happening?
Not at all.
So then the center has to act.
Correct.
They have to, now today, worldwide, in such large countries like India, there is a motorhome. Where is that motorhome policy in this country? There is no parking facilities. Today, forget parking facilities for motorhome. Our center and state can't provide parking facility as gateway of India.
Yes.
They can't provide parking facility as Ajanta Ellora.
It's all about
So,
we're talking
so
about
we
infrastructure.
need to provide infrastructure. We need trains, we need road, we need airports, but we need parking facilities. The basic
basics, the
infra.
basics.
We need drinking water. We need basic toilets. I compliment Mr. Modi. He is building toilets across the country, but why not on the tourist destinations? There also we need quality e-toilets.
That's important in tourism. Is very important.
Exactly, that is very, very important. I have seen some e-toilets of recently in Ayodhya and in Trambakeshwar in Nasik. But in Ayodhya, they have done a fantastic job. But Trambakeshwar, there were 3.
Oh.
So 3 toilets, how can they help?
Oh, yeah. Literally.
Yeah,
I am unable
agree
to
with you.
understand because Trambakeshwar, at a given time, they have made a facility for people to stand in queue is for at least 20,000 people. So 3 toilets for 20,000 people is, it doesn't match at all.
Logical.
So,
Yeah.
so we need all this facility, parking facilities, drinking water fountains. We need basics. I'm talking about basic. Yeah. How does one reach anywhere? No? And
Sorry.
please, sorry. Yeah.
Our neighboring countries, just taking off from what he says, our neighboring countries, where most of Indians go for conferences, etc.,
Yeah.
they are a completely well-oiled machine.
Totally.
From the
Exactly.
time you
Yeah.
arrive, everything is clear. What you need, there is no too much of noise or whatever. If you, as you said, if you want to use a washroom, you know exactly where it is. The taxi, you know that will take you from point A to point B, as you say it. I'm not saying that doesn't exist here also, but like the way of welcoming, the way of getting your way about, everything is so clear. Anyone, even if he can't read too much of English, but whatever is written there, he'll be able to pick up something.
Correct.
Here, once they arrive, we don't know where we are going. You know,
Exactly what Deepak means to say is the signage. The signage is missing in this country.
signage we need.
It's totally missing in this country.
Hygiene and sanitation. You know, as a woman traveler, it's logical we don't consume so much water because we're scared to stop at high.
Ah, there you go.
The
Yeah,
risk of
course,
kidney
yeah.
getting damaged.
Oh.
To just
Why tourists will
add
come?
that, one important point is like if they actually start charging for toilet also, it's a huge revenue model also they are not looking. When you go internationally, they
And
charge
make it
for
world
toilet.
class,
Yeah.
please.
Make it world class.
Make it world class, na?
Even you travel abroad, you need to pay for the using the washroom.
Yeah.
Built toilet is a self-sufficient and sustainable project. If
Sure.
you take the money into it, it's so simple to do
Literally
it.
giving government a
Correct.
plan. सुलभ तो है जो अपन सुलभ जो
Yeah, but you can't go there, na? Most people can't go there. Yeah.
It is सुलभ is more for
To sum it up, I am saying let them not give us anything, but at least facilitate all those things.
correct.
Do you want to develop tourism in this country?
Correct. Nishant ji, your one genuine, I don't want to say, just a humble appeal to.
My humble appeal to Nirmala Ji is a simple thing is like, if you look at the number of SMEs and MSMEs and small players, they are huge. If you give them something, an ease of operation, the number of revenue will
Exactly.
make the government revenue deficit go down. It will increase the revenue of multiplier more than what they think also.
It's
Because if you kill the small player, the multiplier of a small player is huge. If you count with the rich people and the big players, the small player MSME and SMEs are bigger in numbers. So if you give them a ease of operation, if the revenue is going to increase, no one is saying I don't want to pay tax. I want an ease of operation and I want to simplify of taxation and I want to compete with a global player. If you give something what is competing to the global player, my revenue increase automatically. I'm going to contribute to the government. Why not do that? A simple thing.
Yeah. I think what's simple is not palatable to the government, because the three gentlemen here have been not only candid, they've been more than candid, they've been outright clear. All they need is simplicity, single window clearance, and some kind of sanitation and hygiene.
Yeah.
I mean, the three S's literally. And Sir Madhavji spoke about temple tourism, as they call spiritual tourism, the fourth S, which is in our country is another level revenue generator. So, and look at the facilities we have even at Vaishnav Devi or some other places. They're doing their bit, but can be so much better. And Deepak, I feel bad for you because you sound very pained. I hope the government listens to entrepreneurs like you are into events, sir, who are into having huge travel companies like him, surviving and standing the test of time. Thank you. We are exactly here for half an hour. And is there one last word?
Nothing. I mean, there are many good things about the government also that they've done.
Yes.
But like as you said, in terms of travel and all, example, when I'm from Nagaland, yeah. So if I want to go to Nagaland, it costs me 35,000 rupees to go and come back. I'd rather go to Thailand and come back.
100% aviation. Madhavji is running, like having airlines coming to his office. If I have to go to Port Blair, please government, please let me go and see Andamans. Don't charge me 45,000 airfare.
Oh, it's become that much, is it?
Yeah, if you go in peak
It
season,
is.
Bombay,
Prayagraj
Chennai.
right now 45,000.
Yeah. Prayagraj right now,
So
yeah.
guys, please. I mean, I love
I
to see
just
my
booked my
country.
ticket.
I
I know,
don't,
I'm painful
want, I
for
don't
that.
want my kids always saying, hey, Thailand and whatever. Why not my own country? Please.
Okay, I'll change it to Almaty. It's cheaper to go there.
Madhavji, I know we all have to go. Your last word, please.
When you're talking about airfares, I would say that government should suggest a maximum sale price.
Absolutely.
Forget MRP,
Yeah.
make it MSP at least. Yeah.
Maximum
Should
sale price,
maximum sale
please.
price should be there at least, because as you said, 45,000, 35, 40,000 to
Yeah.
Prayagraj.
He's right. Nagaland, this can be a killer.
Nagaland, yeah.
Northeast. Oh my God, to go
That
to
also kills tourism.
Yes, of
100%,
course.
Yeah.
sir. 100%.
I was supposed to go during the Hornbill. I changed my mind.
Yeah.
And when I wanted to come back, it was 92,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Prayagraj is 45,000 right now. I just booked it.
So guys,
airfare.
few things. Nishantji, one last word, and
I will say like keep it simple for
keep it
taxation.
simple. Keep it simple.
Simple and things will work. The revenue will increase. Keep taxation simple.
And imagine a chartered accountant saying that. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for being honest. Guys, Deepak, thank you for your candidness. Thank you for being real. And hope we get to Nagaland on a airfare that is completely easy for us Indians.
Roger,
Because Northeast is something we want to see.
Definitely.
And India's union territories is where we want to go. Government, please help us. As Madhavji just said, keep
Maximum sale price.
maximum sale price, MSP as he calls it. And Nishantji, Madhavji, thank you. Thank you for this heartfelt conversation, and we are trying to feature this. I know nothing will happen in 2025, but maybe 26, 27, if India can see some kind of change for the tourism, hospitality and the aviation sector. On this remarkable note, namaste and thank you.